In this video, I will explain to you example of compound interest if the case where withdrawal after certain period. Okay, so example here, Mira saved 7,000 ringgit into an account that paid 5% compounded semi-annually. So meaning that at t equal to 0, the present value here is 7,000. Okay, and then 5 years later, she withdraws the 3,000 at the same account. So after 5 years, she withdraws RM 3,000. Okay. Okay, so we plug in the value here. Okay, which is P, the present value is 7,000. K is the interest rate, which is 5% compounded semi-annually. So K is 5% or 0.05. And then M, the frequency of conversion is refers to interest period, which is compounded semi-annually. So M is equals to 2 and T is equals to 5. Okay, because the first question is we want to find the total amount at the end of 5 years from the initial deposit. So M is equals to 5. Okay, and then I is equals to K over M, so 0.05 divided by M, which is 2, so equals to 0.025. Okay, N is the number, total number of interest period, okay, which is for 5 years, and then compounded semi-annually, so N is equals to 2 times 2 times 5, so equals to 10. Okay. So for the first question, we want to find the total amount, okay, at the end of 5 years. So we use formula S equals to P times 1 plus I power of N. Okay, so equals to 7,000 times 1 plus 0.05, 0.025. Okay, we substitute I here. Then power of 10. Okay, so the total amount at the end of 5 years from the initial deposit is RM 8,960 and 59 cents. Okay, so for the next question, we want to find the total amount at the end of 4 years after withdrawals. So after withdrawals, meaning that we add another 4 years after 5 years. Okay, so which is T is equals to 9. Okay, we want to find the total amount at the end of 9th year. Okay, so since she has withdrawn 3,000 at year 5, so the principal here is not 7,000. Okay, so the principal here is value of S, okay, minus with amount withdrawals. Okay, so 8,960.59 minus with amount she withdraw, which is 3,000. So the new principal that we will use to calculate the total amount for the next 4 years is 5,960 and 59. Okay, and then key amount, the interest rate is we will use the same interest rate, which is 5%. M is equals to 2. Okay, and then for T is between year 5 to year 9, which is T is equals to 4 years. Okay, so we write here T is equals to 4, and then I is also equals is the same, which is 0.025, and then N is 2 times 4. Okay, so the total number of interest period between 5th year to 9th year is 8. Okay. So the total amount at the end of 4 years after withdrawal is equals to, okay, so the value of P here, we substitute the new principal, which is 5,960.59, okay, times with 1 plus I power of 8. Therefore, the total amount is 7,262.4. Okay. Okay, and then for the next question, C, find the total interest earned. Okay, meaning that we want to find the total interest after 9 years. Okay, total interest. Okay, so just before this one is S1. Okay, we assume as S1. This one we assume that S2. Okay, after 9 years. Okay, so the total interest is okay, how to calculate the total interest? Sorry. Okay, meaning that we will find first the amount of interest after 5 years. Okay, we assume this one as I1. Okay, or IA. Okay, and then after that, we find the amount of interest after 4 years. For 4 years after the withdrawal. So we assume this one as I2. So the total interest is equals to I1 plus I2. Okay, you find first the amount of interest after 5 years, which is I is equals to, by using I is equals to S minus P. So 8,960.59 minus with the original principal 7,000. So the amount of interest for 5 years is 1,960.59. Okay, and then for the amount of interest after withdrawal, okay, for after withdrawal, which is I2. Okay, so we use the same formula, which is S minus P. However, we use the principal here is the new principal. Okay, so 7,262.4 minus with the new principal. Okay, this one. So 5,960.59. So the amount of interest after withdrawal is 1,301.81. Okay, therefore the total interest is I use the as I1 and I2. So I1 plus I2. Okay, so 1,960.59 plus with 1,301.81. So the amount of interest, the total interest here is RM 3,262 and 40 cents. Okay.